You won't control your impatience or an impatient spirit if you don't practice on yourself. It doesn't matter if I make the red light. It doesn't matter if I'm 3 minutes late. It doesn't matter if they don't make the music louder right away. Yeah, I'll be patient. I'll wait. I'll relax. Take a deep breath. It doesn't matter if my boss doesn't acknowledge my hard work right away. Don't worry. Yahweh, if he acknowledges it anytime soon or sooner, I'll be happy. Many of us are hurt because our employer will not acknowledge how hard we work. And we think we should get some attaboys from other people. And maybe we should. But patience says, you offended me. I can march into that office, give you a piece of my mind, leave the piece of my mind on your desk, and lose my job. Or I could be more like Yahushua and go, Yahushua, I'm going to extend forgiveness. I'm going to make believe this incident never happened, and thus grant others the patience because you're working on yourself. What is your problem? Your problem is you overreact, right? So as you work on yourself, you are able to grant those things to other people as we receive when we work on ourselves. I counsel with married couples all the time, and I counsel with myself all the time. And one of the things I say, they say, well, he does this, she does that. I say, oh, hold. Rule number 1 in counsel, okay? We're not talking about her. We're talking about you. That's usually the last counseling session. They're not there to talk about themselves. Here are the rules for counseling. Ready? You can talk about what you're doing, not what she's doing. She can talk about what she's doing, not what you're doing. You only talk about your behavior. Amen. And usually, as I said, 1 or 2 sessions later, termina, toda la familia regreso a casa. Usually. Am I right? Am I right, Athena? You got to be serious to want to show up 10 times. If you don't let the other person speak about the other person, and they keep showing up 10 times, they're ready to build patience. They're ready to take those trials and see that they don't have the patience of Yahushua to become more like Yahushua. That's a serious person. When you don't let them talk about their wife, and the only person they can talk about is themselves, and they keep showing up, that's a serious person. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Is anyone enjoying? Let's try it in the back. Anyone enjoying? Well, since there's not that many customers here, I'll try in that pack-filled section there. Is anyone enjoying? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Patience with Yahweh. The devil's such a liar, says, look, hey man, check that out. That whole part over there is empty. 5,000. No. See, I don't walk by sight. I walk. See, that room is reserved. That's reserved seating for the 30 folks that ain't here yet, but they on their way. And if you don't like my empty seats, that's okay. Somebody else will pay for the empty seats. But we walk by faith and not by sight. So that room is reserved seating. Okay, we don't build things for nothing. Same with the Moed Hall. Oh man, what a bummer. Do you realize that used to be our Moed Hall? Take a look. Take a look where the tile is. That was our Moed Hall. We used to have food in there, and we used to break bread in there, and we thought we were growing. You can't put more than 2 parakeets and 10 human beings in that space. But we thought we were in a Moed Hall. So we built another Moed Hall and realized what Yahweh wanted to give us. I don't know how we got into that, but that's for somebody.
Hallelujah.
Number 3. Finally, we must be patient with Yahweh. Ouch.
Right.
Let me pour water for this one.
Yes, sir. Cold water.
Because we know we're married to an impatient person. We know we ourselves are impatient. But how about when Yahweh is not in a hurry? And he's going too slow for us. And he's not working quick enough for us. Whoa, Nerita. Go with me to Yaakov. Yaakov, or as they say in Barcelona, Jacob. Yaakov. Give me a page. Give me page. Chapter 5.
697.
Chapter 5. Thank you. Yaakov, chapter 5, verse 7. Now we're going to get into the crux of what I want to share. Yaakov 5:7. Ready? You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been in luxury. You have nourished your Levim as in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the tzaddik man, and he does not resist you. There's a remnant there. I'll share that with you now, because some of you think you're not getting heavy stuff today. Be patient, therefore. Oh, bummer. Oh, the scripture reading was going so good. Be patient, therefore, ye Israelite brothers, to the coming of the Master Yahweh. Behold, the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, and has great patience for it, until it receive the earth early and latter rain. You also be patient. Hello? You also, like the farmer, you also be patient. And establish, notice patience will settle down your heart. Establish, settle down your Levim. It'll settle you to the coming of the Master Yahweh. So patience, listen, prepares you to wait for the Master's return. The more patient you are, the more useful you'll be in Yahweh's kingdom as you wait for his return. Grumble not one against another, Israelite brothers, lest you be condemned. Behold, the shofet stands before the door. Take my Israelite brothers and Nevi'im, who have spoken in the name of the Master Yahweh, as our example of suffering, affliction, and patience. Behold, we count them blessed who endure. You have heard of the patience of Eov, and have seen the purpose of the Master Yahweh, that the Master Yahweh is full of pity and full of tender rachamim. Do you see it here? Why was Eov patient? Because he knew that enduring the suffering didn't produce the patience. It revealed how much more patience he needed to experience full pity and full rachamim. The revelation of Job was that all the things that were coming against him was because the daughters and the cattle and the homes and the people, places, and things were not full manifestations of chesed and rachamim. Yahweh had to bring the trials to show him the true fullness of the rachamim and the chesed of Yahweh. So the tribulation didn't build Job's patience. It what? It revealed how much more he needed to get to chapter 42. And all the type A personalities are going into the book of Job, making sure there are 42 chapters. And if there are 43 and I messed up, they're going to think I was preaching in the flesh. If you're a perfectionist, you don't have patience with Yahweh and with yourself. Perfectionism is not a virtue. It is a failed human attribute. It is a manifestation of the flesh. When Yeshua said, be perfect, that meant be perfect means be clothed with his righteousness. Be clothed with his tzedakah. Immerse yourself in his perfection, even as our Father in heaven is perfect. Yeshua is clothed with Abba Yahweh's perfection. So he wants you to be clothed with the garments of salvation and remove the spirit of heaviness and give you the spirit of praise. That's what it means, be perfect. It doesn't mean torture yourself over your imperfection. It means clothe yourself with his perfection, even as Yeshua is clothed with the Father's perfection. Does any of this make sense? It's a challenge. It's not something to beat yourself up over the head with.
Amen.
People that demand perfection for themselves, okay, then what happens is Yahweh sends trials, and you see that you're even less perfect than you thought you were, and you get all depressed and all bummed out, and now you can't tolerate other people's imperfections because other people's imperfections remind you of your imperfections, and you've got this vicious spin cycle, and you're all going in that same vicious spin cycle. Make sense? That's why I say practice for patience with yourself. In order to become a patient person with yourself, you have to release yourself